every single one of you is gonna be mad at one of my opinions here, and that's okay. So we're gonna be ranking all of the new Pokemon from Galar today. I've been going back and forth on how exactly I wanted to do this. I actually at one point made a numbered list of 1 through 94, ranking every single Pokemon, but I kept debating it because it's like, well, what makes this Pokemon like number 33 as opposed to number 34? Like, what does it have that's just ever so slightly more special than the other one? So today we're going to be making a tier list. We're not going to be doing the standard S, A, B, C, D thing because I just forgot to prepare. Like, neutral, bad. Or S for super, A for average, or B for bad, I guess. I guess that's just what we're going to go with. Alright, so let's start off with the Galar version of the Pokemon we're already familiar with. If you watched my Pokemon Sword Let's Play, I was excited about pretty much almost every single new Pokemon just because it's that thrill of seeing a new Pokemon, that wonderful excitement of experiencing something brand new in a series you've been playing for so long, and yet looking back, I actually was surprised by how many of these Pokemon I didn't really care for, and a big portion of those actually turned out to be the Galarian Pokemon. Starting off with Galarian Meowth. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't know why I don't like Galarian Meowth. I'm going to put him in the bad section. To be fair, I'm not a huge fan of normal Meowth. I guess I like Galarian Meowth more than normal Meowth. I just don't like the fact that his whole body is just a furball. I like a little bit more of a form there, I guess. Moving on though, we have Galarian Ponyta, which is one of the top 5 greatest Pokemon of all time. In case you didn't get the memo, Galarian Ponyta is just absolute perfection. Galarian Rapidash, I'm actually not as loving about. Maybe it's because it's not as fluffy. I actually think Galarian Rapidash is pretty average. Galarian Farfetch'd, don't really like it that much. And Galarian Weezing is something I'm very emotionally conflicted about, right? I think it's just kind of average. I don't want to put it in the love it category, but I feel wrong. Like, I feel devastatingly wrong if I put it in the bad category because he's so ritzy and so proper, and so he's just average. Galarian Mr. Mime, he's fine, I guess. There's a lot of the Pokemon here. It's what I've noticed going through this list is I either really like the Pokemon, I really dislike it, or I am completely neutral on it. I have absolutely no opinion, and Galarian Mr. Mime probably perfectly encompasses that. I'm curious what my opinions of these Pokemon would be, the Galarian ones, if I wasn't comparing them to Pokemon we already knew. Like, if we just got Galarian Mr. Mime, I would probably... I don't know. I don't think I'd like him. I don't think I'd like Galarian Mr. Mime. So, dude, is he even average then? I think he's bad. Oh. Galarian Corsola, I just feel sad whenever I see it. Hello, darkness, my old friend. So, I'm going to put it on average. I think it's okay, but it's just so sad. And I know why. There's poke-lore about why it's sad, because it's a ghost that went like its species went extinct or something. But, goddamn, just... find one reason to be happy. Fuck. Galarian Zigzagoon is amazing. Galarian Zigzagoon and Galarian Lanoon have single-handedly ruined original Zigzagoon and Lanoon for me. When I see them, they are just so boring now. I only ever want Galarian Zigzagoon and Lanoon to ever be canon from now on. I like Galarian Darumaka. He's very cute. I would like to roll him like a bowling ball. As excited as I was at first for Galarian Darmanitan, the more I'm looking back, I think I really dislike the Snowball Afro. I think it looks really stupid. So if he didn't have that, I'd probably like it more, but for now, I'm going to put him in the bad section. Galarian Yamask is probably the Galarian Pokemon with the least amount of changes in the history of Galarian Pokemon, so he's just average, I guess, because, yeah, nothing changed. His evolution changed, and we'll get to that eventually, but nothing about him really changed. And then finally, Galarian Stunfisk, who yeah, you know what, I really dig the idea of, like, the bear trap, the lily pads on him to try to disguise him. I like him more than normal Stunfisk, so yeah, he's super. Finally, we're getting into This one might hurt some people. We're getting into the starter Pokemon, and yeah, I'm already afraid for one of these. But Grookey's great. I really like Grookey. We'll just go through the first stages first. I like Grookey. Scorbunny's just kind of average. That's not Scorbunny. Scorbunny's just kind of average. And I love Sobble. Whatever the heck this thing's name is, Banana Boy. I hate this thing. It is horrible. I just really dislike it. Yeah, it's a banana. I love bananas, but not in my Pokemon. This thing, I don't know a lot of these names yet, as you guys are going to find out today. Especially because I've never used this thing. I hate this thing. It's a dumb, weird Digimon Pokemon. I don't like it, and I really like Sobble's stage. So Sobble is the only one that has a good middle stage. He's great. He's emo. I bet he shops at Hot Topic and hangs outside smoking with the emo kids in South Park. He's great. Ooh, the final stages. Oh, I can't wait to make some people mad. I love Rillaboom. He's fantastic. He's really cool. This is probably my least hated Pokemon in a new game. I hate whatever the heck this thing's name is. I hate it. It looks like an anime furry protagonist. It looks like I should be able to have a conversation with it. It is not a Pokemon. I very much disapprove of this thing. And you know what? In fact, I'm making a new row. I hate it. I'm just going to name it the dumb. And yeah, I kind of feel pretty much the same way about Sobble's final stage. I don't hate it as much as the fire one, but it just feels like an anime protagonist in like a non-human anime world, I guess, if that makes sense. I don't know. I just don't like when I look at a Pokemon and I think, that could probably talk.
Meow, that's right.
Like Mewtwo, I guess, is okay because Mewtwo's like, you know, telepathic or something. I don't know why Arceus can talk. Alright, and now we get into the actual brand new Pokemon. Starting off with Squirrel. He's fine. He's just average. Ooh, alright, so this thing, I take it back. This dumbass big squirrel is my least favorite Pokemon in existence, and it's solely because of its eyes. Every time I look at it, I think, oh, that's like one of those things from like a 1940s Disney movie. It's about to sing a musical to me. I hate it. It has too much personality in its eyes, and I think that's something I've struggled with a lot with this generation, is as Pokemon has evolved and its design has evolved and as we've gotten better graphical capabilities, Pokemon have gotten a lot more personality in their facial expressions and in their designs, and this is, I think, when it's gone a little too far. It just makes me feel uncomfortable. I really don't like this squirrel, so I guess we're gonna have two Pokemon in the dumb tier. Tiny Bird is, yeah, he's good. I like him. Corvisquire is, I'm putting him right up here with Galarian Ponyta. This isn't ordered in any sense except for those two because I absolutely love them. They are my two probably favorite Pokemon from this generation. Corvisquire, I've always loved the middle stages of the bird lines. Pidgeotto, Fletchinder, Staravia. I've always loved the middle stages of the birds, and Corvisquire is right there with it. Its color scheme is phenomenal. It's just cool. Feather design is great. Everything about him is fantastic. Oh, and Corviknight's good too. So this bug thing, the bugs, oh my gosh, this bug line really confuses me because I feel like my opinion of them changes as it evolves. I really dislike the first stage. It's bad. I like the middle stage enough to say that it's average, and I really like the ladybug. It definitely has a glow up as it grows up, so congratulations to the worm thing. Also, did you guys see Party Worm is freaking canon now? Like, Party Wurmple? No way. I couldn't believe it. It's real. The foxes, I'll learn these names eventually. Really like both of them. I don't have a lot to say. I think it's really cool that they use their tails to erase their footsteps as they walk along. Really nice design choice. Great Pokemon. So I think this is Glossifer and Cottonfleur. I'm making up that second one, by the way. Oh, I just gotta learn to like rip the band-aid off and just go with my immediate reaction because I feel so... I like the beginning one, and I feel kind of neutral for the middle. I'm going to say that. Wooloo, of course, everybody loves Wooloo. I was very disappointed with its evolution at first. Honestly, I hate to say this, it's actually kind of starting to grow on me. It's one of the few Pokemon where I've actually gotten more fond of it as time has passed. So I'm not going to say I like it yet. It originally would have gone into bad. I was just really upset like Wooloo, our perfect little sheep girl, evolves into that thing. But I'll say it's average for now, with the potential of moving up. Dreadnought and his little baby Dreadnought, for some reason I'm very, very average on the little Dreadnought. But Dreadnought is a great Pokemon. He's really cool. He should evolve, and that won't be the last time you hear me say this today, but he's very cool. Oh no. I don't like Yamper. I've never liked Yamper. Ever since he was first introduced, I really like Corgis. They're adorable. I just hate his color scheme. It makes sense because he is electric type. Yeah, I think they ruined it. He's bad. His evolution is phenomenal. I love his evolution. It is super adorable. I think the color scheme works a lot better with this animal shape and the way they use it. But much like Dreadnought, I'm shocked it doesn't evolve. I'm especially shocked that this thing doesn't evolve because it's not very big. It's not very powerful. It's not very intimidating. It is just kind of there. So yeah, it should have absolutely evolved, and I don't know why it didn't. Alright, so we're about halfway through right now, I believe. So I'm curious how many of you have disliked this video and left as soon as I talked crap on Score Bunny's final evolution. Please let me know if you did. I mean, you left the video by this point, so I'm sure if you did that, though, you obviously left a scathing comment about how I have absolutely no opinion on Pokemon. I mean, I'm wearing a squid hat, so what could I really know? So, Roly-Poly, or whatever the heck this thing's now, I'll learn these names eventually, okay? I've only done one playthrough of this game. You gotta give me some time. This thing is just kind of average. I really actually dislike the middle stage. I think it's a really dumb Pokemon concept. Yeah, I really dislike it, but I really like the final evolution. I think the final evolution is cool. It builds upon the concept well, and it doesn't look like a dumb cart. Like, I get, they were building the mine, and they're like, oh, what if we had a Pokemon that could only move on the tracks? And that got greenlit somehow, and I don't know how. It's like Diglett, you know? What if you're in the airplane, and you're like, oh, I gotta use my Diglett? We know there's airplanes with Pokemon. What happens if you call out a Diglett on an airplane? That was weirdly timed. So the Applin trio, very average on the middle stage. It's just kind of there. Love both of its evolutions, though. They're both great. I haven't caught any of them. I haven't used any of them. I love Apple Pie, so I'm already biased on that. Apple Pie is technically my second favorite, but it's like basically tied with Pumpkin Pie. I adore both of those. And then when it like opens up the apple instead and becomes like this tiny little dragon, it's also amazing. Plus Grass Dragon, like I don't know if we've ever had one of those before, so very much like the Applin line. Sandaconda, Sandacobra, kind of almost falls into the same trope as the squirrel thing, where it has just so much, like, the eyes feel so personable, you know? Like, I would expect it to be, I would look at this thing and think like, oh, that's probably like in the desert in Aladdin somewhere. But it's not as bad as a squirrel, so that's average. And I dig the evolution. The evolution's pretty cool. So I'm happy to see that I like most of the Pokemon so far. That's good. Corviknight, that's not a Corviknight, that's a Cramorant. I know some of the names, thankfully. He's just do I like him? Oh gosh. Oh, this is so much more difficult than I thought it would be. I thought it would just be like, yeah, fuck that Pokemon, or yeah, I love that Pokemon. And I think I like Cramorant because I think he spits out Pikachus, and that's cool. These things, I don't know their names. I don't care at all for the first one, but I wouldn't say it's a bad design. He's average. Really like the second one. Looks like a fish that I would be absolutely terrified of, so he's good. Toxtricity and Toxel? I think Toxel? That sounds right. I like both of them. They're very good Pokemon. You could tell, like, look at the Pokemon and see, like, oh yeah, that Pokemon is going to be used on some merchandise. Toxtricity is absolutely the Lucario, Zoroark. Sure, there's some other ones I can't think of, but that kind of like furry bait Pokemon, except it doesn't have fur. But it was that Pokemon that's like designed to be super popular with like people. It's going to be on all the merchandise. People are going to love Toxtricity, and it's already happened, and it happens every time. So yeah, probably wouldn't be surprised if it ends up in Smash. Scolipede or whatever, in Sizzle Scorn, I guess. I should just make up my own names and just make those canon from now on. Yeah, they're both good. Really like him. I especially like the Gigantamax version of this because it turns into Slifer the Sky Dragon, and that's just super badass. The punchy things, I actually don't remember if I ever saw this in my Let's Play. I think my first experience with it may have been making this tier list. I may have seen it in the Let's Play, I don't remember, but I love both of them. They are super phenomenal. This, specifically the evolved version of it, is probably in my top 3 to top 5 favorite Pokemon introduced in this game. It is just so well designed. Poltegeist and Sinistea and Poltegeist. Wow, look at that. I actually remembered something. Very neutral on Sinistea, and I like Poltegeist, but I'd be curious to see, like, I want Poltegeist outside of the teacup. I think its body shape is just very cute. It would be like a tiny little purple thing chills out in your pocket. I'd be interested to see if, like in the anime, if we ever see a Poltegeist outside of the teacup. I think that'd be pretty cool. Hatchrim. Oh, how I love you, if that's even your name, because I'm not 100% confident on names at all. I this one, Party Girl, I actually don't care much for it. I actually don't like its design at all. So I'm going to say bad, which is confusing because the middle stage is definitely within that top 5 category. Maybe like top 10 greatest Pokemon of all time. It is so phenomenally cute. Its hat is too big. It's got a tuck onto it. It uses the hat to lift itself up. It's phenomenal. Its evolution is good as well. Not as good as the middle stage, but the evolution is also great. Ooh, Imptimp. The Pokemon that for some reason was never technically officially revealed. Hate it. Oh, its evolution. I was gonna say I immediately hated it, but it's like, well, I don't hate it as much as Imptimp. So we'll leave that one for a second. Let's go to its evolution. Don't like it. Yeah. This is one of those things, these Pokemon especially, where looking back on my Let's Play, I was really excited to be using these Pokemon for the first time, seeing brand new Pokemon, new designs I'd never experienced before, and now that I've removed from that, and it's been, you know, almost 2 months, and I'm looking back, it's like, oh, I don't like them that much, actually. So, drama, right? And, you know, I'm going to say I don't like the middle stage either. Yeah. Maybe I need more tiers, because I don't want to say they're bad, but I don't want to say they're good, or even, I'm going to say this one's average. Gagstagoon or Gapstaboon, whatever, he's good. So, I was shitting over Galarian Meowth earlier, right? I actually like its evolution. How I mentioned that I didn't like the Galarian Meowth was just all a big furball and I wish it had a bit more form. Well, that's actually basically what we get with its evolution. You could see more of its body, you could see like some more definition out of it. So I like it. It's a good Pokemon. Galarian, not Galarian, it's just a Cursula. Really dislike this thing. It feels like it would be completely stationary, and I know that's a lot of Pokemon like Snorlax and Trevenant, I guess. I mean, Trevenant, I can't believe Trevenant's only like 4 feet tall. I am like 2 feet taller than the Trevenant. That's just really weird. So Sirfetch'd is a... I have the same kind of opinion about Sirfetch'd that I do for Galarian Weezing. It's a very fun, like, novelty Pokemon, and I don't want to say it's good, but it's not necessarily bad, right? Like, I'd feel wrong in my heart if I said it was a bad Pokemon. So I'm actually just going to put it right here next to Galarian Weezing, and they can just chill out together. Mr. Rhyme, for some reason, I really like this thing. I really like Mr. Rhyme. Chill design. I don't know what kind of British lore he's based off of. Clearly based off some kind of street performer. Really like the color scheme, like the little smiley face he has. Good Pokemon. I don't know what the heck this thing's name is. Galarian Cofagrigus is what I'm going to call. Really like it. It's very like mysterious and spooky. It actually kind of looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh monster. And I know I was complaining about things not looking like Pokemon, but it looks like a Pokemon while also kind of looking like something from Yu-Gi-Oh, if that makes sense. Alcremie and Strawberry Shortcake. Is that right? I like them both. They're good. I would eat them. Phalanx is a Pokemon that it seems depressingly bad. Maybe it actually is good, but when I was using mine, its moveset was just atrocious. But it's freaking adorable, and there's some fantastic internet memes about it, as opposed to real life memes, by the way. Very much love Phalanx. He's a great Pokemon. Oh gosh, I have just no opinion on you. Snom is a great boy. I have a love-hate relationship with Snom just because it is absolutely hell to evolve this thing. Once you watch him walk in Pokemon Camp, like, you can never not be absolutely infatuated with this thing. Although I gotta say, its evolution, there are a few Pokemon, I think this is pretty common with the Elite Four, where you see a Pokemon and you see like the ace trainer that uses it, and you see, okay, was the trainer designed on the Pokemon, or was the Pokemon designed to go with this trainer, right? And I definitely think Snomp's evolution fits into that, because the gym leader that uses its evolution also has like the big kind of scarf thing around their face, and like a big white color scheme. Like, they look like they go together, and I think that kind of hurts the design. I'm actually very average on Snom's evolution. I mean, I guess it makes sense it evolves into a moth, but I don't know. I'm just not thrilled about it. I think this is a divisive Pokemon. I don't know what his name is, but I was looking at some of the community ranks, right? And it seemed pretty common that the Stone Edge boy was very much disliked, which is crazy because I actually love him. I think he's very cool. I haven't seen much of him in action or battled much with him, but if he can like rearrange his pieces to make himself look different or whatever, that's really freaking cool. Penguin Guy, Esquire, something like that, is really fun. I didn't know that I don't know why I haven't just muted my phone. So, Penguin Guy, right? I saw him with and without his, like, cube head, and I actually thought it was an evolution. It turns out it's just kind of like a Mimikyu kind of thing. But very good. Very good. I like Penguin. Still have no idea what this thing is. It just, every time I look at it, I think Autono. And it's not an Autono. It's not related to Autono at all, but I really, really like the design. I like the design way more than Autono, by the way. Just the purple and white look very, very cool. The weird, like, cottony, fluffy ears. Very much like this Pokemon. Pikachu is good. Both forms of it, by the way. It's a very fun, gimmicky Pokemon. Very cool. Copperajah and Tiny Elephant, I kind of dislike them both. I definitely dislike the little one. I feel kind of average on the middle one. A lot of these Pokemon are hard to come up with thoughts on, right? I say that, and you know what? I'm about to completely contradict myself because we're at the fossils. Oh boy. Oh god, oh boy. These fossils are weird, right? They're very much designed to be like, whoa, right? Because they are half of a Pokemon. Two halves of a Pokemon fused together by some crazy lass, whatever. Originally, when I wanted to do this tier list, I chickened out and didn't even want to make a tier for the fossils because I feel bad at disliking them, right? Because I've seen concept art the fans did of what the original versions of them would look like, and I like every single one of them. I like all of them in their original forms, but it's like taking putting the little bird thing and just sticking his head on top of like an Obstagoon. That's gonna look weird. This kills my heart. This breaks my heart so much, especially these two, because I used this one in my Let's Play and I used this thing in my Nuzlocke, and this thing is an absolute powerhouse. I'm pretty sure he's actually a very popular Pokemon in VGC. I might be wrong on that, or at least in competitive Pokemon. He's so ridiculously strong. But I gotta say they're bad. I really like the individual pieces. I think they have a lot of potential, and hopefully someday we see them put together like they're supposed to be, but I just don't like the mashups. So this thing is, I don't understand why when it Gigantamaxes, why it has windows. Like, what is inside those windows? I know it's becoming a skyscraper, but why? Evolution should be to adapt, right? Is it trying to help the job economy by like providing workspaces for people? I don't understand. So I like its normal form. It's Gigantamax form though. It just confuses me. And finally, we're down to the pseudo-legends and the legendaries of the series. And this probably won't come as a surprise, but I absolutely love the pseudo-legends. They are all wonderful. If I was to rank just these three, I'd probably go the middle stage, the final stage, and then the first stage as the best. I really like the middle stage. It looks so like I'm gonna just fuck up your day. It looks like it's gonna, like a Sour Patch Kid, right? Like, he's not truly evil, but he'll, like, I don't know, turn your toilet paper upside down or something and think that he's just like the coolest, most baddest guy in the world. He's very cute. And finally, the legendaries. I wish I could split these into 2 tiers, because as they are right now, these pictures of them, their normal forms, love them both. They are great. I'm just gonna go ahead and put them in S tier. But with an asterisk, a huge asterisk, I don't mind the sword one. I despise with every fiber of my being the shield, like the big shield version of the shield legendary. It is so fucking stupid. I hate it. So this is the only Pokemon is technically in 2 tiers right now. And finally, whatever the heck this thing is, I don't know the names of these Pokemon. It's okay to hate me. I like it. Yeah, it's very good. I like, it's probably the colors. I really like the color scheme. You may notice all 3 of these Pokemon pretty much have the same color scheme, and all of them I really like. So yeah, as well as the ladybug. So, oh, well, maybe not all of them. And yeah, that is my tier list for the new Pokemon in Sword and Shield. Just know there is an invisible tier above this where Caterpie and especially Gigantamax Butterfree lives. I should rank the Gigantamaxes as well, because Gigantamax Butterfree, just so you know, is in a tier all of its own. It's the best Pokemon ever made. So please tell me in the comment section how much you hate me and despise me for all the decisions I made on this list. I especially think a few Pokemon in the bad tier are gonna might make some of you mad. I think maybe one of these specifically I'm a little worried about. And thank you guys for watching, and welcome to 2020. This is my 3rd decade that I will be making videos on the internet to entertain you. So I am basically a professional by now. And yeah, I can't wait to, I think I can't wait to read your comments, but I'm also terrified.